Well, this is the tour of the barn house that you guys had selected. So this is going to be 3D rendering tour. Obviously, there were some things that I kind of took some artistic license with, added in some basic landscaping just to give you kind of a rough idea, and then just kind of some textures, paint color, obviously things like that. First call out. This is the original garage, same as the plan that you came to me with originally, same size. I think it's like a 12-foot door, 16, 20, something like that there. You do have the pull through here, so you'll have a second garage over here. Obviously, the driveway could either run this way like this, or it can run in front of this bed. However you want to do that, so you can get back to the original spot, depending on how you orient the house on your property. That's how the garage works. I'm not going to go inside it because it's just a big open room. You know how garages look. Added in the carriage lighting, things like that. That's something I wanted to talk through at some point, by the way, is how you want some lighting. Obviously, the architect that you're working with can do that based on code for the area, but some things like that you want to keep in mind before you go into the build phase. One last call out on the front of the house here. You have a tremendous amount of concrete. I'm not sure exactly how wide you have to have this um, drawn up to be. I think this is about a standard three car because you have that 90-degree turn into that lot, obviously, or into that driveway garage. Excuse me. If you come in head on this way from the side of the property, obviously this doesn't have to be quite as much. But regardless of how you do it, you do have this whole span here is going to pretty much be concrete, gravel, some form of driveway. That is pretty expensive. Obviously, if that's something you're okay with, that's fine. You can leave it dirt, whatever. But just want to call it out. I did put in some cutouts here for landscaping. Part of the reason I did that too is it helps with some of this runoff if you won't just have pooling water. If there's a little bit of area for this to seep in and get absorbed. Not a lot, but it does cut back a little bit. Final note: this is the original carport, more or less area. It's only about I think 8 feet wide. You don't have a ton of coverage space here, so you do want to just make sure that that's okay. It'll cover maybe the front part of the car, but the whole thing won't be covered under here. If that was your intent to use it more or less as carport. Last comment: the sides of the house I can't really show you. It does break the rendering system. So you're going to see this area is going to be really janky. You can see the ceiling here is a totally different texture. The sides here aren't going to render right just because of how this roof wraps over. Be easy to build, just confuses the computer. So ignoring all of that, your door move, you now have that window here instead of the doorway. The true front door will be here. This door wraps around to the side. Doesn't have to be glass. I drew it that way just for a lot of light. You could do a regular steel, wood, whatever door. This is the window for the bathroom. You'll see here that this is a little bit blocked by those doors. It's almost entirely blocked by those doors. But once those bathroom doors close, you'll get a lot more light in this space here. You'll have obviously your window in the shower will be this. It can be frosted, whatever you want to do. But do want to call out that is now right here off of this porch. And these will be your doors to that office space. So instead of going through the house, you'll now have the double door access to the back. Do want to call out that these do have to be glass because this serves as your window for this room. So if you did like a steel door, you would have no natural light in this room at all. So I do want to call out that while some of these doors could be steel or whatever because you have other windows in these rooms, this one in particular, you'll see when we get into the tour of the inside of the house, that has to stay some form of French door glass, whether it's frosted or whatever. So coming back around, you'll have the front of the house here. I drew it with some recessed lighting and then a small pendant over the door. I also added in real quick some of these gable brackets. These aren't the style I would use, but it's just a stand-in for what I would use in this case. We'll talk about that. It's just some ways to add a little bit of character with a slightly larger overhang and some bracketing. Leans that kind of traditional craftsman look. You could also do some of the gable features, whether that's some type of detail up here as like a beam or something like that. We'll talk through that. So you may want to have your architect design that in. So coming in, you'll have your front doors through the column post here. Again, this little area here, probably a must-have. It gives a little bit of a definition to the front of your house and denotes some weight for where that front door is. So you come in through here with the standard beam there to the front door. Obviously, because this is rendering, we're going to have to go pretend we're a ghost and pass through the doors. They don't open automatically. So do want to call it out real quick. You'll have your foyer area here. Sloped ceiling goes up the stairs. It is a straight flight of stairs up. 10-foot ceilings throughout. These are 8-foot doors. Windows are set at 8 foot high, so most of them are about 6 feet. So you'll have some extra cost there. But with a 10-foot ceiling, this is how you would do that. 6-foot doors start looking a little bit weird. Everything just, you got too much space up here. So the 8-foot standard. You're coming through this hallway. You'll have a little bit of a mudroom access here. Not a whole lot of room for like a bench or anything like that. Just want to call that out. You might could put something in here. I think these are about 5 foot wide, if that. That's about a 3-foot door, so maybe only 4 feet. Would be a little bit tight if you did anything too big here. So you don't really have a lot of room in this area, but it is kind of that private drop off off of the garage. Like we talked about, here is instead of a half bath, you now have a full bath. Obviously, this isn't huge, but you do get some decent space. About a 2'6" sink, toilet, shower. Do want to call out really quick, part of the design is going to take in this wall right here bumps out. This is so that you can fit in a standard shower. You could take this out and do the full, I think it's 5'6" across here. Just double check the plan later when we're talking through it. But this does give you that standard shower as opposed to having a little bit more custom design. Totally optional, but that's kind of why we have that jet out there. Is it helps you have that standard shower size to do like a fiberglass wall and floor. Pass through in here to the office space. Obviously, this door can shut and lock. So kind of coming back out off of the foyer, you'll have access to this office space here. You do have just a regular door here. By moving around what we did, we were able to make it so this door swung open into a wall instead of this door. It's one of the perks of that flopped bathroom design. You end up with the double doors there again, serving as the window for the room, so the glass will make a big difference. These are 8-foot French doors. You could do the 6'8" with the highlight window up over it, something like that if you wanted to. Just going to give some of that height. Keep it consistent with the rest of the house. This closet's going to render a little bit weird, but I'm going to pop in just to show you how it looks. You'll have the full run here of the width on the side, and then the staircase here. Again, ignore the rendering; it's a little bit bizarre, but you'll have that sloped area here, and this goes all the way back. It's about 7 feet underneath the stairs, so you have really quite a bit of space in this office area's closet for storage or however you want to use it. So that's the front right of the house. Kind of coming back through foyer, you'll have right off the foyer just double doors into your living room. You'll have the two. I think these are the wider option windows that y'all asked for. They're 3 foot now. I did widen those out to about 3 foot instead of the 2 foot ones that we had there originally. You come in here to your living room. You'll have the loft area up here with a set of rails. Obviously, you could close it off with more of a wall or something if you wanted. So kind of some things to keep in mind there as far as finishes. But you do have that open loft. You've got room here for sofa, a couple love seats, things like that. So quite a bit of room in this living room. And then looking up here, you'll have the 2-story access all the way up to that large gable out front is going to give you this 2-story living room that you were looking for. With a fan from there. Do want to call out this is a 9-foot window, so blinds would be custom or fairly expensive, or you just wouldn't have any and just leave them open. Just want to call that out. This is a lot of light up here, just because of the width of the room. So I think you'll get a lot of good natural light, and it'll be a nice space. Coming back, you have the rest of the house is all going to go back to that 10-foot ceiling. You do have your pantry here. You've got pretty decent space. I hope that's not. Oh, it is rendering out a little bit bizarre. There we go. Fixed it. You do have your pantry here. Comes in not too terribly wide, and it's about 2 feet deep. So not a lot of space compared to some of the other drawings where you had these massive pantries, but it is a fairly normal one. You'll have an island that I did extend in this case with a 4-foot sink base, so you can have a little bit bigger sink in here. This is still your standard single basin, but you do have that extra room for extra bar stool. So if you wanted to do 5 instead of 4, it takes it pretty close to flush while still leaving that 3'6" around the perimeter. So you do have kind of sink range and refrigerator here, kind of all right in this one space. With good serving area over here. By moving this kitchen up, you now have the window looking out to the front porch, which is nice because you do have that front view. even though you're not really using this side of the kitchen so much. Um, I did pick this up from the original drawing, but it's something to keep in mind. Jesse had mentioned a range, a vent hood over the range. It was drawn, and the way this is rendering is um, with the microwave over this range combo. You could do the vent hood if you wanted to go a little bit fancier and just move the microwave, into some other area if you wanted to do that. Put a built-in over here, whatever. We could do things like that, but just want to call out that's how your plan is drawn. So kind of something to be mindful of. And then I did keep kind of a built-in refrigerator. You could run a panel down the side here if you wanted to, and just kind of case that in as a solid piece. So that gives you your kitchen, great size. It's a lot of serving area. You've got all of your stuff right here in appliances. So that's a good layout there as far as you're walking to each item. It's not so much centering your oven off the sink the way that some of the original plans had, but not too bad. You got a lot of prep area over here, serving area. So I think the house should lay out pretty well for entertaining, especially once you see just kind of how much space you have over here, and then kind of looking from the bar out, you do have that good view of most of your main living area. Last call out, I did hang a pendant light in here, obviously rendering what lighting I have, but it's kind of some good call outs of things to think about when you do your lighting plan. You do have a fairly large dining room here. This is, I think, an 8-foot table. It's an 8-foot by 3-foot 4 table, so very large table. Just to show you've got room for that. 8-seat space. Actually, probably even more than that if you wanted. Not a whole lot of room for a china cabinet unless you did one on this back wall, but you do have that space if you want to do a narrow like break front or something. But you've got room to walk around behind the chairs here to get to the back of the house. So this is your main living space then. Coming through here, you'll go through this set of doors. This is the reason why you can't bump any of those bedrooms any wider, is because you do have to have the space here. Bedrooms, again, are 12 by 12. So you'll come in, you'll have the window here. This is the bedroom with a 12-foot closet. So the closet spans the entire width of this bedroom. You would have probably a shelf that ran back here, a shelf that ran back here, and a shelf that ran all the way across here. So you'd have about 2 feet of space or so, and then, or actually a little bit more than that, space, and then the run there. So plenty of closet space in this bedroom. It looks out to the side of the house. Bedroom 2 back here coming in, you would have a little bit smaller closet. It's about 7'6" by 2 feet deep. So you would have the closet right off that wall there. Window. This one would be a little bit tougher to lay out. You do have to put the bed in front of that window and have a dresser across the area there. Put it on this wall, however. So your bed and dresser, you've got some options. Depends on how much you're willing to block a window. Same with this one. You would have your bed probably on this back wall. Not a ton of room for like nightstands and things like that if you went with like a queen. Full, be a little bit more flexible, but should be good for the kids. Just you may block some of the windows with the way furniture lays out. So just kind of calling out how that looks. So with this space, we did reclaim some of this kind of area in here by moving that closet and bathroom to the middle of the house. We got good amount of living room back here. It's not huge the way it lays out, but it's a nice little playroom, nice little entertainment space, whatever. It gives a good place for the kids to hang out. You do have the bathroom back here. I did put a pocket door between here. It's not a whole lot of security, but it does close off, so you have vanity that you wanted, the double vanity here. It is, I believe, a 5-foot vanity. Yeah, it's 5 foot. It's a little bit smaller than some of the other ones that we've drawn up before, but still a good size. You'll have room for the dual sinks there like that. And then we could even pocket door off of this one if you wanted to do it that way. This door gives a little bit more privacy to the whole bathroom, and then you'll have your toilet shower back here. This pocket door does give a little bit more room in here, so you're not quite so crowded on top of everything, which is why it was drawn that way. Kind of back of the house again real quick. We do have this window bumped over instead of the door. I rotated the living room around to this wall like this instead of looking over here just because of how this lays out. I think it makes a little bit more sense. Coming through here, you do have your very large laundry room. This runs about 7'6" wide by, I think, just under 12, 11'6" wide. So you've got room for the cabinets, toilet sink, or excuse me, a washer, dryer, sink. And you can do a run of uppers up here. You may have to get creative and do some shelving between them or whatever, do some space for hanging up clothes, something like that, just depending on how your cabinet sizes come in. Last call out is whether or not you want to build an ironing board or something like that. Again, no windows in here because you have all this here. You cut windows out and do windows, but this goes off to your back porch. Again, you could do a French door or steel door, however you wanted to figure your lighting out. But this does come out to a very large back porch. Not super deep, but it is a lot longer. You do pick up some space here. So that'll be pretty nice. and then the back of your house just is kind of a standard sloped off ceiling like that, or excuse me, roof line. So coming back through, you'll have off the backyard. You'll come into your um, laundry room. That is the note there is that because we did take this door out, your backyard access is through your laundry room now. So you don't really have a true back door, at least not one that is traditionally guest facing. So as long as you're okay with that, you would just pass through your laundry room to be kind of more of a mud room to go out there like that. Very pretty mudroom though, so that should be okay. So finally, off of this little den area, back here you'll have your master. You'll walk in here to your right immediately. You have your master closet. This is what I was talking about when I was sharing with that door. Your door for that passway through that other closet, if you wanted to have that quote secret entrance, we've cut out all the shelving here as well as some back here. So you would have really only been left with the 10-foot run or so that this is. This gives you a much more traditional master closet by having the shelving all the way around. So it makes a lot more sense. And then for resale, it's a good thing to have that extra space. So kind of coming back through here, you have a 19 by 16, I believe, master bedroom. So plenty of length in here. You'll have a lot of ample room. For a king size bed is how this one's drawn. Chest of drawers, dressers, things like that. These are fairly small compared to my furniture. So you'll have plenty of room in here. Passing through, you'll have your master bath. Very large sink run here. You will have some cost, obviously with the granite and stuff like that in here if you do that. But you have a tremendous amount of vanity space. That'll be very nice. To your left, you'll have a closet. Your toilet or your shower. There we go. Shower tub combo with frosted window. However you wanted to do that. Again, you wouldn't have to take the tile all the way up. We did shrink it a little bit narrower. I think it's about 7 feet wide instead of the 10 that you originally went with. So still a very large shower without quite being as absurd as the initial drawing was from the architect. So this does correct some of that. You would have your porch right off to the side there. You can see that through that window. It's good space there. And then your private toilet closet here. This one's only about 3 feet wide, so not super wide, but it should be ample room. Excuse me while I adjust that camera to look around. So you have your toilet right through the doors there. What was private space there? You would be able to come back through these doors to your back porch. So that's the first floor of the house. Do a quick jump, and we'll go to the second. So this is the second floor. Again, the rendering breaks on the sides of the house here, so I'm not going to be able to show you these bedrooms. They're just a little bit larger than the other ones that we looked at. I think they're 12 by 14, 13, 14, depending on how you do your walls and whether the ceiling slopes or not. But that's how that looks. So coming up here, you have your loft area. This looks out over the living room. You have that big run of gable windows up there to bring in a lot of natural light. It should give you some light across that room over here because you don't technically have any light up here. If you wanted to go really, really big, you could blow out through the back here, push all the way back and have a gable looking out the back at this. But we didn't do that. So this would just be attic space back here. And actually, you could put a door over here if you really wanted one that would just walk into your attic space. But anyhow, all that to say is this is going to be your loft area. You'll have a room for maybe small seating area. Just be mindful that whatever you put, especially if you have railing up here, is going to be visible. Or that's couches or whatever. It's not super private from your main living space. So you do have that open loft. You would have your bedroom back here and a closet, and then ignoring that little glitch up there, you'd come back through off the top of the stairs, and you would have another bathroom up here with a toilet, shower tub, and sink. You could do an actual shower if you wanted, but this one's only I think about 5 feet wide. So yeah, it's only about a 5-foot bathroom. So a little bit on the narrower side, but because it is upstairs, I didn't worry so much about some of the spacing. And then finally, this bedroom would walk through to another one, pretty similar to the other side. You'd have just a window straight across and you're underneath that gable. It's a good layout. It gives you those 2 extra bedrooms that you wouldn't have had in the 1-story. And we'll have the nice little wall here. Give you some of that extra space. It's going to render some of the colors differently because of the ray tracing. You could take this out and do a half wall or railing if you wanted to. Just kind of depends on how you want that space to finish out. I just went with the wall because I think it makes more sense from that bottom story, especially when you look at it from. Excuse me while I bump out to the room. From down here, you have that solid wall runs all the way across instead of railing, things like that. Makes a little bit more sense. So anyhow, that's your tour of your house. Back final shot of the front. That's how it's going to look. Hope you guys like it. If you got any feedback, let me know.